Welcome to Tech Talk. Of course, it's still September 2015, and we're still pumping out small business too big to ignore because there's a federal election on, and we want to make sure the message gets out. And I'm here, as always, with my good buddy from FPM3, Adam Oldfield. Adam, how are you?
I'm doing well, Greg.
Gosh, you're looking good.
Thank you. I got showered today, and I tried some soap this time. Soap was interesting. I haven't tried soap before.
Speaking of soap and staying clean,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I wanted to find out more about this cloud stuff and the security around it because, quite frankly, we here at the Chamber, we have some of our stuff is in the cloud, some of us still on a server, but I would really like to move it all to the cloud because I'm paying money for server maintenance, and largely all I need is an internet connection and a bunch of laptops.
Yeah, you know what? Technology today for small business is so affordable in regards to how you can set up all your systems. And what I mean by that is if you've got a desktop, you're still running local software, there's a big chance that it could go downhill. Meaning one day you turn it on and it's like, it doesn't work. What's going on? Nothing's working. That is obviously a problem. I always say when I'm talking to companies, I'm helping them in their integration of how to migrate into this cloud environment is your business should be able to be hit by a meteorite. You should be able to go down to the library, turn on the computer, and turn on as if nothing happened. So if you look at that and say, can you do that right now with your business? And obviously retail, I'm not referring to my inventory. What am I going to move? But I'm referring to if you could go to a new location, turn on the computers, and instantly conduct it as if nothing had happened, you're truly in the cloud. So how do you do that? Well, you know what? There's a lot of services out there. So your Office documents, you have options now. Ironically, you didn't before. Remember Corel? Remember that?
Yeah.
All right, well, Corel and Word, they had that fight. Well, now it's Google Docs and Microsoft. So Office 365 is the cloud-based Office system, and you got Google Docs or business apps. And that's your Gmail, your Google Documents, your spreadsheets, your slide presentations. So you've got these two elements, and I'm going to include Apple over here. Apple's got this little kind of cloud base. You know, they just put an I in front of it. So what does this mean? It means that everything you are storing, your emails, your documents, your contacts, all your files, they're all going online, and they're getting cheaper. You can look at third-party storage areas. You got Google Drive. You've got Dropbox. There's lots of them that you can use, and they're very inexpensive. For less than probably, I think, right now what I spend a year is about $600 a year. Might be a lot of money, except I got enough space for a very large company to put all my documents, all my files, even my QuickBooks, my accounting software, all online. And it's interesting because, truthfully, I have no paper. I haven't bought paper since October 2014. So paper, I mean literally boxes of paper, I haven't bought it since 2014. We are completely paperless. And we just use the same systems. We use tablets with styluses. In our previous, we talked about where the stylus could come in, but documents being signed, all of it. So the good part is it's very efficient for small business to look at. It's cost effective, but you gotta have a plan. Don't just go saying, okay, I'll go into the cloud. Sit back, take a look at all your needs, understand which ones are priority, and then be able to choose the right software that works for you. So don't go choosing, for example, a Microsoft product with an Apple product when the two don't integrate. You got to do your research and really try to determine. Now, once you got it in the cloud, there's also questions of who owns it? Where's it go?
Well, and the server farm business is becoming huge.
Massive. It's the backup security systems out there. You got a data backup. You now have servers that, again, Google, Amazon, and Microsoft, Cisco, and IBM for that matter. Great campaign with IBM recently is, we've got in the news, never been hacked. That's actually a great campaign. Not that I want to plug IBM, but I thought that was genius. But you've got all these major servers, and, cost effective for you to be able to use, and now it's a matter of who owns this information. Keep in mind, when you're using anything that's in the United States under the Patriot Act, and I know Bill C-151, which we just passed in Canada, will give the government somewhat close to that kind of power, is that this information can be reviewed and investigated by the federal government. So what that means is that if you have anything in question, particularly in the case of the US, the IRS, in Canada, the CRA, they do have access to be able to go onto these servers and search on their own accord without a warrant. That's part of how this works. So if you read through the nuts and bolts, that's pretty much what it covers. So to protect, obviously, the country and, God and country for terrorists. So at the end of the day, they are able to get into this information. Most companies don't have anything to hide. We're pretty much straightforward. We run a business. We just don't want our competitors to know, and we don't need the public to know. But the government does have access to this, and they are pushing quite aggressively now in the federal government about getting access to all of these servers, Amazon, Microsoft, Google.
Why?
Well, main reason is because recently in the last bombing terrorists in Paris, one of the terrorists had a Hotmail account, and they were basically emailing each other in the process. So the government's trying to get access to all the global servers so they can be able to access everybody's information.
Hotmail, Gmail.
You name it. Now, what's wrong with this problem? The problem, in my opinion, is they'll be able to track, like in Windows 10 right now, it tracks every keystroke and every voice recognition you give to Cortana, which means it goes to a server and it transcribes your voice and takes every keystroke. So that means every word you type. Well, let's just say you're joking around and go, hey, Greg, you're the bomb. You just triggered a red flag down in government office that goes, bomb? This gentleman said bomb? Anything else that relates with the words? So keep that in mind. This is one of the downsides of what you can be looking at when it comes to cloud-based environments.
Yeah, we've heard those stories lots. But you know what? There's no question about it. From an operation perspective, once you've got, like you have at your office, everything thought out in a methodical process, and
Yes.
all of the attention to detail to make sure your staff all have the access points that they need, boy, it certainly smooths things out from a business perspective.
It's extremely productive, it's efficient, and it's cost savings. I mean, those
Yeah.
are the key things that are all value when you take a look at it.
And without saying you're taking advantage of your employees might say that, but
Yeah.
they're there for you 24/7.
They are. They can work from home. I'll tell you, winter storm is extremely, not that I want one, but no one has to argue
Yeah.
that they can't come to work. Now, my environment obviously lends itself to that, but in most cases, it could help a lot of other companies if you needed to be able to work from home.
Not too much help for a retailer, but
Right.
But if you're a service delivery of some sort,
That's right.
There's no question about it.
Now, on a side point, we talked about cloud being obviously information that we send our data to, right? One of the things I want to share is that there's been a lot of talk about malware. Malware is not a virus, and I want to be clear on this, and I think we spoke about this on previous Tech Talk. Malware is where information is being accessed from a third party. So it's sending data about yourself to another server, or it's being collected. Well, recently, within the last month, they just announced that Flashlight, the simple app Flashlight, on every Android phone, which was downloaded over 500 million times in the United States and Canada alone, 500 million, is sending all your data directly to 3 countries. One of them is India's #1 country for malware information being sent. Second is Russia, and third is China. So
Wow.
these 3 countries are getting your information all from a little app called Flashlight. You ever notice when you load an app and it says, we're asking permissions of the following of your phone?
Yeah.
Well, if you look at Flashlight, it's asking for permission of your geolocation, your Bluetooth, your information of access pertaining to security of your browser. Why does a flashlight that needs to turn on a diode on the back of a phone need all the information about where my Wi-Fi settings and my
I didn't
Bluetooth?
down Flashlight, so I didn't know that.
The only one I could say, and this is one for the credit to Apple, is it comes preloaded in their software. However, Flashlight is a app available to download. It was #1, top 5 Flashlight download apps have actual malware in them. So to get rid of the problem, you can't just delete it. It's actually recommended, back it up, let me rephrase that. Delete the Flashlight app, back up your mobile phone, wipe your phone, then reinstall.
Wow.
That's the only way you're going to be, because the information actually stores almost like a Trojan within your mobile device.
Isn't it easier just to go to Canadian Tire and buy a flashlight?
Or the dollar store. They got a LED light that's black. You go click, click. Gives you
You're
all the
actually in the
time
store the other night, and Lisa looks at that, and you can see flashlights on sale for $9.99. She says, "You know what? In the dollar store, it's $2."
you know,
Just saying.
Mark, just wait till the morning. Hell, there's lots of that during the day. Give yourself a break.
That's right. You got your tablet at home. You got your device. You're all connected to the cloud. You don't need to go anywhere.
Why?
Stay at home.
Exactly.
Turn on your tablet. Let it blind you.
Exactly. So why worry about that? Open up a blank page and face it forward. You're good to go.
Ladies Ladies and gentlemen, that's been Tech Talk with the crazy and wonderful Adam Oldfield from FBM3. Don't forget, small business too big to ignore. Spread the message. We want to make sure that all the politicians in this upcoming federal election get the message, because we're small business people. You probably work for them, or you are one, because most of us are. Small business too big to ignore.
Absolutely.